Hello and welcome back to episode 42 of The Long Dark. I'm Vic and you are watching yet another Let's Play channel. And we need to get this girl to Town Hall.
We can make it.
So that she can maybe not bleed out. Because I would not appreciate having spent all of that ammo defending her. Just for her to turn into a corpse at the last minute. That would be pretty uncool. There's my bridge. Okay. We could actually make it.
All I wanted was to go home.
One wonders where Great Bear Island is, such that a passenger liner would pass over it. Oh, it's further than I thought. And this episode is getting off to very exciting watching. In the mist and the dark. Between that and my light, I cannot see crap. I'm flying by instruments here. And looking at the recording, I don't think it's going to be much better for you. But this is not one of those cases where I can just skip time with no consequence. So we're just going to have to deal. I don't like this direction.
Green fire everywhere.
Do you know about St. Elmo's fire? It's a particular kind of lightning, I guess. You frequently see it, well, most people, if they see it at all, they see it on the leading edge of an airplane wing. There's a notable instance of St. Elmo's fire in a famous near crash of an airliner. I forget the name of the incident, but I think it was a British flight flying into Malaysia, and they didn't know it, but they flew through the ash cloud of a volcano at night, and the ash collected in the engines. As people were seeing St. Elmo's fire on the wingtips, collected in the engines, and it also sandblasted the windscreen of the airplane. The ash collecting in the engines caused them, all four of them, to flame out and fail. And so they entered into a controlled glide. And did their best to get to their port, but they figured out pretty quick that they weren't going to make it quite that far. So they're going down, and the pilot is shooting off his mouth on the intercom. I won't give the exact quote because I can't remember it. While I'm also walking blindly into the dark, but it was I think it was later described as a masterpiece of understatement. But he made a comment to the passengers that, yes, all four engines had failed and they were doing their best to do something about it. And that he hoped the passengers weren't in too much distress. Which I'm sure the passengers found great relief. So the crew is like frantically doing restart engine drills, and they're failing because they're at too high of altitude, and also the engines are clogged with volcanic ash. But they kept doing it, and eventually the plane got to a low enough altitude, and the ash cooled off and
We're not far now.
And solidified, and then broke up and fell out of the engines, and they were eventually able to restart the engines and successfully made a landing. Look at that. We have also successfully made a landing. I cannot imagine what it was like for the people on that plane. Just like falling out of the sky like that.
Thank you.
Hey, look at that. Can we put you in this bed? This bed looks unoccupied. Hmm? Do I need to do it this way? Can I can rotate you. Look at that. It's like a base building thing now.
I won't leave you behind.
There you go, Gwen.
Thank you.
Did it work? Can't pick her up, so I hope it worked. Hey, buddy. No? What's the deal? Administer insulin to Dimitri. Where is Dimitri? There he is. 37%,
I'm
buddy.
gonna check you over. Get some rest now. You need it.
Of course, Dimitri's next problem is that he's going to need more insulin. Did you shoot it into his butt, Astrid? Return IDs.
He's no longer with us. I'm sorry. I couldn't find them.
Find them, please.
Who was that?
He didn't survive.
I do not envy Astrid right now.
He didn't make it. He was lost in the crash. I'm sorry. I couldn't find them.
Please look for them.
I'm sorry. I found her. She didn't make it. I'm sorry. I found her. She didn't make it through the crash. He didn't make it. I'm sorry. I couldn't find who you were looking for. I hope they survived and they're safe somewhere.
Keep looking, please.
Why didn't you say that to anybody else? Who else we got?
I'm sorry. I found her. She was lost in the crash.
Who else have I not talked to yet? Ah,
I'm sorry. I found her. She didn't make it through the crash.
all right. Well, at least we're done with that unpleasant duty.
You made it. I prayed that you would.
Yes, I made it. And I found another survivor. In bad shape, though. Found the insulin, too.
Thank you, my child. This is a big help. Weather's turning worse. I fear another blizzard is on the way.
How can you tell?
The farmers of Pleasant Valley have been part of my flock for years now. Over that time, you start to see the patterns of things. Blizzards are common this time of year. We're due for another one any day now.
And then what?
Normally, we'd hunker down with a stack of firewood, a full pantry, and wait it out.
And now?
Even with what you've done, we'll have to pray we survive long enough for the weather to clear.
Prayer is your thing, Father. You handle that. Between the plane crash and the houses in the area, I'm gonna pull together whatever supplies I can find. Maybe between the two of us, we can keep these people alive.
May God watch over you, my child.
Coming storm.
Still some names missing from the passenger manifest. Became delirious and wandered off, maybe.
Yeah, so we've got like 10 survivors here, which means that ideally we would like for them to have 20,000 calories a day. Of course, you don't need that many to not starve, but there is a question of how many calories you do need to not starve. Oh, there's hardly any calories left on that meat. So I do have a big pile of cooked bear meat in that car. And of course I've got a couple of these airline foods. So I guess we gotta figure out how much we need to scrounge up for these people. I have to find the missing survivors still? Ugh. Okay. I hope that this didn't become... Yeah, alright, good. I'm going to put away a little bit of that, and a few of these, and a bunch of this. And what else? Nope. Let's see, we'll go ahead and put those away. Put that away. Put that away. Don't really need that anymore. And if we need those, they'll be here. So that's an improvement. Man, I'm still carrying a lot of stuff though, huh? I guess my clothing is pretty heavy. Oh, and I'm carrying a lot of water. Let's see, I don't really need that right now. Alright, that's about as much as I'm willing to part with right now. So what do we got for map markers? Oh. We got some peoples to go look for. Alright, so this one is relatively close, and there's a side mission right there. So... Oh, and there's a bunker over there, too. Okay. So let's do that. But, let's do that in the morning. Give it 6 hours. Give it 8 hours. There we go. The wind is pretty unpleasant first thing in the morning, and we don't really need to deal with that. But I don't really want to spend the entire episode running around in the dark. Pick up. Ooh, did I bring that bear pelt with me? I don't think I did. I need to go get that. Yeah, I don't have it with me. I want that bear pelt. Okay, so I believe the priority is survivors first and then food. So I'm not going to worry too much about the scavenging right now. But I hope that my extreme aggression toward the Timberwolves has encouraged them to leave me be for a bit. I've broken up, what, 3 Timberwolf packs now? And killed, I think maybe 4 of them. So they ought to be ready to lay off. So we have 2 more bunkers to find. That's a bit of a spoiler, but there are a total of 3, and we've raided 1. I think there's at least one more local legend for me to investigate. And hopefully it will result in exciting new garments for Astrid to wear and be less cold. And I think it's a good idea to wrap those up shortly as well.
Goodness. Made it through another night.
Sure did. Yeah, I'm gonna eat it. I can bring the vegetarian ones for the survivors to eat. Astrid needs her protein. Don't start with me on the protein thing, okay? I don't want to hear it. I don't care. It just is what it is. There's a ton of wood in these forests. I'm down with that. And it looked like, in that most recent fight with the Timberwolves, lighting a fire actually did stand them off a little bit. I'm not sure any of them would have actually hopped in to take a swipe at me. Maybe if I wasn't looking at them, they would have come after me.
Signal them somehow. Letting no one close.
Oh, well, fire a flare in a distress zone. Well, if only I had some flares. Wouldn't that be handy? I have no flares, because I wasted them fighting Timberwolves. And yes, it was a waste. Those are hay bales. That's not what I'm looking for. So am I going to have to go find some flippy-dippy flare pistol rounds? Because boy, would that be annoying. What if you just called out, Astrid? They ought to be able to hear you. What if we went to a high place and looked around? Alright, well, there are a bunch of trees in the way, so I don't know why I should have expected that would work. Maybe if I just look around, I'll get lucky? I'm gonna need to do some warming up soon anyway. This doesn't seem like the sort of place that somebody would get lost, though, right? I mean, they'd have to be pretty severely disoriented to be like... to be this close to a road and not be able to work out that they were at least possibly close to civilization. Right? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. That's cedar. I wanted fir. How's the wind here? The wind chill is 14 degrees, so I'm not going to be able to light a fire there. I was going to just light a fire right next to the log and then break it up in the heat of the fire and get warmed up and get wood at the same time. No, don't be silly. Astrid can't get wood. She can collect wood if she wants to. It would be too easy for the survivor to just be... What is that? That's a deer. Just be near the center of the search area. We really do need a fire soon. What do you suppose happens if I light a fire on the ice? Good things? Do you think good things happen when you light a fire on ice? I'm going to guess not. Because there's a reason that people build those little ice fishing huts, and that they're not just totally exposed to the ice.
I can't feel my hands.
Yeah, you're right, Astrid. Okay. Where can we find some shelter for a little bit of fire? Wind is coming from that way, and I'm walking in circles. Doing a really good job of searching here. Oh, there's our survivor. And it looks like he might have a fire, so why don't we just warm up there, huh? Okay, so the good news is I guess I don't actually need to fire off my distress pistol. If I wander around long enough, I can locate them.
Shh, stay calm. I'm right here.
And the better news is now I can fire off a distress pistol.
Looks like this has been here a while.
Yeah, gross. Alright, let's see what you got. Oh, you need water, do you?
Feeling better now?
So you remember how I said that I was overly pessimistic when I guessed that I was going to have to carry multiple survivors back to the town hall? Well, guess why I thought that? And the other thing that kind of sucks is he is actively bleeding out, so I really need to get him back rather than go out and explore other stuff. Alright, so you're warm, you are bleeding out. Let's get you moving.
I've got you.
Okay. Those brambles look nasty. If the developers were really uncool, they would have made it so that those would shred your clothing if you bumped into them. And I don't know if they were actually that uncool, and I have no intention of finding out.
Don't give up. I won't leave.
I'm just going to keep moving. You know, this would be another good time for a sled, don't you think? It'd be way easier to haul this guy around on a
Stay
sled.
awake.
Just end it.
Man, these folks... I wonder why he's in such bad shape. Like, he had a fire, he had some stuff to eat. He should have been doing alright. His internal fluids were not leaking. And if they're leaking internally, he's a dead man. Not a dead man walking. You'll notice that he is not walking.
I won't let you go. Just stay awake.
My family.
Well, Logan, your family is either already where we're going, or already where you're headed. To be a little cute about it.
Not much farther now. Hang in there.
It's a good thing that that whole sprain risk thing doesn't seem to be over problematic, despite how incredibly burdened we are right now.
Bernie. Bernie.
Have you read the story of the
Don't close your eyes. No.
cold weather campers? I want to say it was in Russia, but I don't know that for sure. That were discovered in varying states of undress and also very dead in the dead of winter. there are a whole bunch of silly stories about what might have happened to them. What caused them to take off their clothes and flee their tent to die in the cold and the dark. But it is well known that people who are suffering from extreme hypothermia can begin to feel inappropriately warm and paradoxically take off their clothes in order to cool off. So I don't really know why any exotic explanation is needed.
Not
I
much
mean,
farther now.
that doesn't explain
Stay
everything.
awake.
Their tents were damaged.
Everyone dead.
Well, not everyone, Logan. But it seems likely that, like, maybe a wild animal damaged their tent and scared them and they ran off into the woods and then started getting hypothermic and took off their clothes. Or, something like that. There are all kinds of weird stories about, like, well, they were influenced by a cult, or one of them tried to murder the others, or... as far as I know, none of those theories have any actual evidence to support them. But who needs evidence when you've got an exciting story to tell, right?
My hands. Where is the fire?
We left the fire behind, Logan. But the good news is that by the time we get back to the town hall, you're going to have a lot more blood than Gwen. You might even be able to share with her. So after this, we've still got 2 more survivors that we've got to go find. And we might have to carry all 3 of them back here.
I won't let you go.
All 3 total. Including Logan. That's a lot of carrying. I think we'll take a break from the carrying once we're done with Logan. And go and check out that bunker and that other side quest marker that's near where we found him. I'm not entirely sure when he starts bleeding out. I don't know if it's the first time I interact with him or if it's when I see him. But I didn't really want to take a chance on it.
The sky. Where did it go?
Well, you're looking at the ground, Logan.
Feel
So,
my face again.
okay, and there's a bed for Logan. There you go, bucko.
I'm right here. Get some rest now. I
Splat.
need it.
Okay, so that's 2 out of 4 down, because who doesn't like throwing around more and more different numbers? Let's see. Might as well. The cooked meat seems to be keeping fairly well, so... And we're running a little low on water, especially given that we're going to have to give some more to some peeps, I'm sure. So I think we better cook some more. Go ahead and do the whole 2 liters, I guess. Not 3 hours. 3 is too long. Alrighty. And I'm running a little low on calories, aren't I? But that, and the bunker, and the exclamation point, and the remaining survivors, all of those things are problems to be solved in episode 43, because we are... Whoa, mama. We are all out of time for episode 42. So come back and see me again in episode 43 for at least some of the things on that list that I just rattled off. Talk to you soon.